So today I'm gonna show you how to make this beautiful oven roasted snapper meal, alright? So I'm starting out with a 2.5 pound red snapper here. Yes, already been cleaned and everything. So here in a bowl I'm starting out with 2 tablespoon of green seasoning. I'm gonna follow that up with a squeeze of orange. Right? Yes, we're using the whole orange here. We're also going to use 2 nice spoonfuls of this jerk spice mix right here. This is some homemade pepper flakes. So it's using about a half a teaspoon in there also, right? And we're going to go ahead and start layering this all across this fish. You want to make sure you take your time with it so you can get it all in them crevices, and you want to make sure you rub this fish down properly, right? Give it a proper massage, man. And once that's done, we're gonna move over to our Pyrex bowl here, our dish I should say, and go ahead and put a few slices of butter down, just before you put the fish in. And we're gonna follow that up with some vegetable stock. Yes, this is gonna help that fish to, slowly cook properly and provide a little moisture in there. Now we're gonna put this in a 350 degree oven, sorry, while we work on this pineapple here. So as you see, I'm trying to remove this pineapple from the shell, and man, I flicked this piece out and it went flying, right? So it had to be the first piece to get eaten. But anyways, keep removing all that flesh from the pineapple until it's looking something like this, right? Yes, a nice cup. So with all the excess pineapple that's left, I figure why not make some pineapple rice, right? So instead I cut up that pineapple into small pieces, added some oil to my little blue pot here, and began to saute this up. Right? Yes, man. Never know if you ever had pineapple rice, but I'm adding some pumpkin puree here, which is just pureed pumpkin in water and pumpkin, right? Adding some green seasoning to this, and also some leftover hot pepper sauce from one of them restaurants we've been to, right? Now we also added in our rice here, and before you cuss me, this is a fragrant rice, and these rice are generally clean, so you don't have to rinse them, so that's optional still, right? I'm going to add some more chicken broth into this and a little piece of butter. And then we're going to go ahead and give it a nice little stir and leave that to do its thing, right? Now I found this oversized cucumber here, which looked like it's full of steroids, but nonetheless, it was nice and beautiful. And when you're selecting them, you want the firm ones. Now I always peel the skins off of mine because, they usually spray them with fertilizer and stuff, right? We're also using a red onion here and try to cut them as thinly as possible. Once that's done, we're also going to be adding a little bit of spice to this, of course. We got to have a little bit of pepper. That wasn't a Scotch bonnet pepper. So I'm making my mix here, which is just some salt and sugar and some white distilled vinegar. Going to heat it up on the stove, and then we're going to pour that right on top, right? Set that aside and let that do its thing. So right now we're going to work on our plantain cups here. Now I forgot to add the oil to my hands, and what that helps is just to prevent the stain from the plantain to stick to your fingers, right? Once that's done, we're going to cut these up into big pieces as you see here. And just before we get started frying those, we're going to check back on this rice. As you see, it's looking nice and fluffy. Added a little handful of scallion inside of it and gave it another stir. And we covered that back down and left it. Now we're going to partially fry these. I want to say about 25% the way, right? You just want them to soften up enough so we can use our juice squeezer here, our citrus squeezer here, to form them into cups, right? So as you see, you just want to go ahead and just take a piece and put it inside, and once you squeeze it down, it should form that beautiful shape that you're seeing right here. All right, and once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and start to fry these back up again to get them nice and crisp, and they should be looking something like this, right? So now after about 30 minutes, I went and checked back on this fish, and it was looking amazing, Yes, man. Nice and buttery, full of flavor, right? And it was well done, so it was fastly approaching dinner time. So of course I went ahead and started to do some presentation, right? Plate up our pineapple rice, of course, in our pineapple shell, and those time to lay out those plantain cups, right? Yes, man. So this dish was an idea that I got from my dad. And as you see here, look, the whole fish I broke up because I think I overcooked it a little bit. But any good chef knows how to salvage his recipe and make a masterpiece out of it, right? So drizzle some sauce over the top, and yeah, this is what it was looking like. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, man. So my queen and her mom, as you see, devoured this. They had a great time. All right, definitely a 10 out of 10. And I managed to score me a nice cup out of it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next one, right? Later.